The year is coming to a close quickly, and with that, a new chapter is starting. It's a chance to reset, rethink, and reassess the direction of your life. I've always said that life reflects the philosophy you live by, not just your emotions or feelings. It's the set of ideas you've chosen to adopt and live by. Think about it. How often do we find ourselves going through the motions, day by day, week by week, even year by year, holding on to the same habits, the same thoughts, and the same excuses that keep us stuck? What if this year you decide to rewrite that script? You see, every successful transformation begins with a decision to think differently, to act intentionally, and to live boldly. Success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by the person you become. The great thing about life is that we are the authors of our own stories. We have the power to decide if this year will be the one we grow stronger, more focused, and more determined to reach for what's possible. But here's the catch. Wishing for change doesn't make it happen. Real change requires a set of principles, a guide to lead you, and consistent action to anchor you in the process. That's where these 10 rules come in. They are not just abstract ideas or vague aspirations, they are tools. Tools that you can start using today to transform not only this year, but your entire life. So, are you ready to take on the challenge? Not just to hear the rules, but to apply them. Because nothing works until you work it. The first rule is to take full responsibility for your life. This is where everything begins. Responsibility is the foundation of a well-lived life. It's the starting point for every breakthrough, every transformation. Let me ask you, who's in charge of your life? Who's making the decisions? It's tempting to point fingers, right? The economy, the government, your upbringing, your circumstances. There's always something to blame. But the truth is, nothing changes until you take full responsibility. Responsibility means recognizing that you and only you have the power to change your direction. It means owning your mistakes, your failures, and even the things that weren't entirely your fault. Why? Because when you take responsibility, you take control. Think about it. If someone or something else is responsible for your situation, then they have the power, not you. But when you say, it's up to me, you take back the reins of your life. Years ago, I met a man who was struggling financially. He listed all the reasons he couldn't get ahead. His boss didn't like him, his industry was tough, and he wasn't born into wealth. He had every excuse lined up. But I asked him a simple question. What are you doing about it? He looked puzzled and asked, what do you mean? I said, what steps are you taking to improve your skills, add value, or create opportunities for yourself? That conversation changed his life. He realized that waiting for someone else to fix his situation wasn't going to work. When you take responsibility, you shift from being a victim to being a creator. Instead of waiting for things to happen, you start making things happen. Responsibility is empowering. When you embrace it, you stop wasting energy on blame and start investing in solutions. Responsibility isn't always comfortable. It requires honesty, a hard look in the mirror. It means admitting where you've fallen short and where you've let yourself down. That's not easy, but it's necessary. Because when you take ownership of your life, you also take ownership of your potential. You start asking yourself, what's possible for me? What can I achieve if I put my heart, mind, and effort into it? So here's the challenge. Starting today, refuse to make excuses. Refuse to blame your circumstances, other people, or even bad luck. Instead, ask yourself, what can I do? What's within my control? How can I take the next step forward? Because that's how change begins, not with what others do, but with what you do. Remember, you can't control everything, but you can always control how you respond. And your response determines the outcome. Take full responsibility, and you will be amazed at how much power you really have. Number 2 is to set clear goals and write them down. If responsibility is the foundation, then goals are the map. A map gives you direction, helps you navigate challenges, and ensures you don't drift aimlessly through life. Without clear goals, you're like a ship without a sail, drifting, hoping, wishing. But life doesn't respond to hope. It responds to clarity and action. You can get, not what others want for you, but what you truly desire. The clearer you are about your goals, the stronger your focus becomes. Clarity leads to power because you can't hit a target you can't see. Years ago, I learned a simple yet powerful truth. Writing down your goals is like planting a seed in the soil of your mind. When you write a goal down, it transforms from a fleeting thought into a tangible commitment. It's no longer just an idea, it's a declaration. And here's what happens next. Your mind starts working on it. You begin to see opportunities, solutions, and resources that align with your goal. I once met a young man at a seminar. He had ambition, but lacked direction. I asked him if he had written down his goals, and he said no, he just kept them in his head. I challenged him to write down 5 goals he wanted to achieve in the next year. He hesitated, but eventually did it. A year later, he came back to me with tears in his eyes. He had achieved 4 out of the 5 goals. Why? Because the act of writing them down forced him to focus and take action. But here's the key. Goals alone won't change your life. You need a plan. Break your goals down into smaller steps. What can you do today, this week, or this month to move closer to your goal? Consistency beats intensity every time. Small, steady progress adds up to big results over time. Review your goals regularly. Don't write them down once and forget about it. Keep them in front of you. Read them daily, visualize them, and remind yourself why they matter. This keeps your motivation alive and your efforts aligned. And don't be afraid to dream big. Set goals that excite you, challenge you, and even scare you a little. Because the purpose of a goal isn't just to achieve it, it's to become the person who's... When you set a goal, you're not just saying, this is what I want. You're saying, this is who I want to become. So take some time today to write down your goals. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Remember, clarity creates momentum. And momentum is what turns your vision into reality. Rule number 3 is to develop discipline as your greatest ally. If goals are the map, then discipline is the engine that drives you forward. Without discipline, even the best plans and clearest intentions fall apart. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the ability to stick with the process even when the excitement fades, when obstacles arise, or when progress seems slow. Some people think discipline is about restriction or deprivation, but that's not true. Discipline is about freedom, the freedom to live the life you truly want, rather than being controlled by bad habits or fleeting emotions. It's about choosing long-term rewards over short-term comfort. How often have you let your feelings dictate your actions? I don't feel like working out today. I don't feel like working on that project. Feelings are unreliable, aren't they? They come and go. But discipline says, I act according to my commitments, not my feelings. I remember hearing a story about a young athlete who wanted to become an Olympic champion. Every day he woke up at 5 a.m. to train, rain or shine. When asked how he stayed motivated, he said, motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. You see, discipline is the habit of doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Here's a simple truth. Discipline is built, not born. No one is naturally disciplined. It's a skill you developed through practice, one small decision at a time. The best way to build discipline is to start with small, manageable habits. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to change everything at once. Focus on one area where you want to improve. Whatever it is, commit to it consistently. And here's the secret. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you strengthen your discipline muscle. You build trust with yourself, and that trust fuels your confidence. On the other hand, every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken that muscle. Discipline also requires a strong why. Why are you doing what you're doing? What's the deeper reason behind your goals? When you connect your actions to a purpose that matters to you, it's easier to stay disciplined. Now, let's talk about setbacks. Discipline doesn't mean you'll never slip up. It means you don't let a setback turn into a pattern. Forgive yourself, learn from it, and get back on track. The goal is progress, not perfection. Remember, discipline isn't a punishment. It's a gift you give yourself. It's the pathway to achieving your dreams and living a life of purpose and fulfillment. So decide today to make discipline your ally. Start small, stay consistent, and watch how it transforms your life. Rule number 4 is to surround yourself with the right people. Success doesn't happen in isolation. The people you choose to spend your time with have a profound impact on your life. They can either lift you up, inspire you, and challenge you to be your best, or they can pull you down, drain your energy, and hold you back. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? Whether you realize it or not, you're becoming like them. Their attitudes, habits, and values rub off on you. If they're focused, driven, and positive, chances are you'll adopt those qualities too. But if they're negative, lazy, or complacent, that influence will creep into your life as well. Mr. Shelf used to tell me, if you want to change your life, change your circle. At first, I didn't understand what he meant, but as I looked closer at the people around me, I realized something. I was spending time with people who were comfortable being average, making excuses, and weren't interested in growth. And guess what? That was holding me back. Now, this doesn't mean you should cut ties with everyone in your life, but it does mean you need to be intentional about who gets your time and energy. Seek out people who inspire you, who challenge you to think bigger and do better. These are the people who will push you to grow, not settle. I once worked with a young entrepreneur who was struggling to take his business to the next level. After talking with him, I realized his friends were discouraging him, telling him his ideas were too risky. He was surrounded by small thinkers, and it was affecting his confidence. I encouraged him to find a new circle. Mentors, peers, and other entrepreneurs who understood his vision and believed in his potential. Within a year, his business had grown exponentially. Why? Because he surrounded himself with people who lifted him up instead of dragging him down. Now let's talk about the kinds of people to look for. First, find mentors, people who are ahead of you and have achieved the kind of success you aspire to. Learn from their experience and let their wisdom guide you. Second, find peers, people who share your ambitions. There's power in growing alongside others who are on the same journey. And third, seek out those who challenge your thinking. Don't just surround yourself with people who agree with you. Find those who push you to see things from new perspectives. But we can't forget the flip side. Sometimes you need to distance yourself from toxic influences. These are the people who constantly complain, criticize, or discourage you. I know this can be hard, especially if they're longtime friends or even family. But remember, your environment shapes your destiny. Protect your mindset by limiting your exposure to negativity. And one more thing, be the kind of person others want to be around. Bring value to your relationships. Encourage, uplift, and support those in your circle, because relationships are a two-way street. When you give your best, you attract the best. So, take a moment to evaluate your circle. Are the people in your life helping you grow, or are they holding you back? If they're holding you back, it's time to make some changes. Success isn't just about what you do, it's about who you do it with. Rule number 5, consistency might not sound glamorous, but it's the unsung hero of success. It's the small repeated actions day after day that create extraordinary results. Think about it. A single workout won't make you fit, and one healthy meal won't transform your body. But what happens when you do it consistently over weeks, months, and years? That's where the magic is. Success, my friends, is less about intensity and more about consistency. Too often, people start with enthusiasm, but then their motivation wanes. They hit the gym for 2 weeks and stop, or they work on their goals for a month and quit. Why? Because they expect instant results. But here's the truth. Great things take time, and consistency is what bridges the gap between effort and results. I remember a story about a man who wanted to chop down a massive oak tree. Each day, he went out and gave it 5 swings with his axe. Just 5 swings, no more, no less. At first, it seemed like nothing was happening, but day after day, those swings added up. Eventually, that great oak came crashing down, not because of one powerful swing, but because of consistent effort. The same principle applies to every area of your life. Want to build wealth? Save and invest consistently. Want to improve your health? Exercise and eat right consistently. Want to grow your skills? Practice and learn consistently. It's not about doing it perfectly every time. It's about showing up even when it's inconvenient, even when you don't feel like it. How do you build consistency? First, start small. Don't try to change everything at once. Pick one habit you want to develop and focus on that. Keep it simple and manageable. Second, create a routine. Habits thrive on structure. Decide when, where, and how you'll do the activity and stick to it. Third, track your progress. There's something powerful about seeing your streak build up. Celebrate the small wins. They're what keep you moving forward. But here's the thing. There will be days when you don't feel like it, when life gets in the way, or when progress feels slow. That's when consistency matters most. Remember, doing a little is better than doing nothing. Even if you can't do it perfectly, do it anyway. Consistency is about progress, not perfection. Here's the beauty of consistency. It compounds over time, just like compound interest in a bank account. The small actions you take today will grow into something extraordinary tomorrow. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. So, make a commitment to yourself. Whatever your goals are, whatever your dreams may be, decide to show up every day. No excuses, no exceptions. Success isn't about doing something once. It's about doing it consistently. Rule number 6. Time is life's most precious resource. Unlike money, which you can lose and regain, or skills, which you can develop over time, once a moment is gone, it's gone forever. The way you manage your time determines the life you lead. Think about it. Are you spending your time or investing it? Are you using it to build the future you want, or are you letting it slip through your fingers? Do you find it? We all get the same 24 hours in a day, no more, no less. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't isn't about having more time. It's about making better use of the time they have. Time management isn't just about being busy. It's about being productive. It's about focusing on what truly matters. Don't prioritize your schedule, schedule your priorities. In other words, figure out what's most important to you and make those things the foundation of your day. And too often, people fill their time with low-value tasks or say yes to every request. Before they know it, their day is gone, and their most important goals are untouched. The key to time management is clarity. You have to know what matters most. What are the 2 or 3 things that, if done consistently, will make the biggest difference in your life? Whatever it is, give it your prime time, your energy, and your focus when you're at your best. So, what are some strategies? First, plan your day the night before. Take 10 to 15 minutes to write down your top priorities for the next day. When you wake up, you won't waste time figuring out what to do. You already have a plan. Second, use time blocks. Set aside dedicated chunks of time to focus on specific tasks. During those blocks, eliminate distractions and give your full attention to the task at hand. Third, learn to say no. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your priorities, you're saying no to something that does. Protect your time. It's your most valuable asset. And remember to take care of yourself. Rest, relaxation, and renewal aren't luxuries, they're necessities. You can't manage your time effectively if you're running on empty. Schedule downtime and protect it as fiercely